Good morning. My name is Andy and I'm the Partner Manager for Bytes. Thank you for attending our webinar today. Today we're going to focus on Microsoft 365 and more specifically the security elements of M365. As Microsoft's #1 cloud partner, Bytes work with a number of specially selected partners who provide focused and highly skilled expertise in focused areas around Microsoft. New Signature are a multi-accredited gold partner for Microsoft at the forefront of Microsoft cloud technology. James Stewart from New Signature and Fabian Porquet from Bytes will take you through the webinar and host a Q&A at the end of the session. A quick bit of housekeeping. During the webinar, you are muted, but you can submit questions at any time via the questions box on the right-hand side. As I mentioned, there is a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. The webinar recording will also be made available. And finally, if you can please complete the critique form at the end where you can request a call back from one of our specialists at Bytes. I will now hand you over to James.
This is James Stewart from New Signature. Thanks a lot for taking the time to hop on the webinar this morning. What we're going to be doing today is taking you through Microsoft 365. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Office 365 and newly branded Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 is made up of a number of components. So it's Office 365, Windows 10, and Enterprise Mobility plus Security. So what we're going to do today is take you through the agenda, which is the overview of Microsoft 365, the security elements of Microsoft 365. We're going to focus on a case study by TalkTalk, who actually implemented the technology, and then we're going to talk around Microsoft 365 and how you can actually get on with deploying the service. So Microsoft 365, as we said, is made up of 3 components. So it's Office 365, Enterprise Mobility and Security, which is known as EM+S, and also Identity and Access Management. And effectively, it also incorporates Windows 10. So I'm sure that all of you out there are sort of on your own journey when it comes to deployment of any of these three technologies. But the technology we're going to be focusing on today specifically is Enterprise Mobility plus Security. So Microsoft Enterprise Mobility plus Security is made up of 5 main components. So firstly is Azure Active Directory. Then we've got Microsoft Intune. We've got Cloud App Security, Azure Information Protection, and then finally Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics, or otherwise known as ATA. So I'll go through these at a high level on this slide, and then we'll go a little bit deeper as we go through. So first of all, we go through Azure Active Directory. Now this is the front door effectively to all Microsoft services and needs to be addressed first. Azure Active Directory ensures only authorized users are granted to access personal data using risk-based conditional access. Secondly, we have Microsoft Intune. Intune ensures all your devices are compliant and secure while protecting the data at the app level. Now, these 2 services, Intune and Active Directory, combine to provide you with conditional access. So conditional access isn't a standalone product. It is a solution that takes on all parts of EM+S and effectively provides granular access control to keep your corporate data secure while giving all of your users an experience that allows them to do their best work from any device, from any location. You can define conditions that gate access to your corporate data based on location, device, user state, and application sensitivity. Over to the right there, you can see Microsoft Cloud App Security. This allows you to gain deep visibility and provide strong controls and enhanced threat protection for data stored in cloud apps. And then finally, we have Azure Information Protection. Now, Azure Information Protection out there isn't really known that much, but effectively it allows you to classify, label, protect, and audit data for persistent security throughout the complete data lifecycle. Azure Information Protection is a cloud-based solution that helps you do all of these things. This can be done automatically by administrators who can actually define rules and conditions. It can be done manually by users, or a combination where users are given recommendations. You can block users or recipients downloading your organization's content. You can block them from forwarding your organization's content, printing it, and that's on a mobile device or laptop, whether it's connected to the internet or not. Effectively, we call it data protection at rest. And finally, an on-premise solution, which is Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics. So this detects data breaches before they cause damage by identifying abnormal behavior, known malicious attacks, and security issues. So now let's dive a little bit deeper, and we'll go straight into Azure Information Protection. So Azure Information Protection, again, allows you to classify, label, and protect and audit your data for persistent security throughout the complete data lifecycle. So again, it's a cloud-based service that allows you to label all of your documents and emails. So effectively, you can block people from printing or downloading that information. So let's say you have your data in Office 365, Microsoft 365, and you send it out to accidentally to somebody that you didn't mean to, then obviously they've got access to that data. Now, if you've actually locked that data to allow people on a user-based authentication to access it, then effectively the information can't be accessed by anybody that you haven't given authority to. And again, it doesn't matter if they're connected to the internet or not. Moving on now to Azure Active Directory. So I'm sure everyone knows Active Directory, and again, this is something that has been around for quite some time. Active Directory is now a service, okay? It's constantly updated, and it's not an application that you install on a traditional server. It's constantly updated and improved, as all Microsoft Cloud services are. Azure AD is Microsoft's multi-tenanted, cloud-based directory and identity management service. Azure AD combines core directory services, advanced identity governance, and application access management. Azure AD also offers rich standard-based platform that enables developers to deliver access control for their applications based on centralized policies and rules. For IT admins, Azure AD provides an affordable, easy-to-use solution to give employees and business partners single sign-on and access to thousands of cloud applications like Office 365, Salesforce, Dropbox, and Concur. For app developers, Azure AD lets you focus on building your applications by making it fast and simple to integrate with a world-class identity management solution used by millions of organizations around the world. So currently today, there's about 125 million business users currently leveraging Azure Active Directory. So Azure AD also includes a full suite of identity management capabilities, including multi-factor authentication, device registration, self-service password management, self-service group management, privileged account management, role-based access control, also allows application usage monitoring, rich auditing, and security monitoring and alerting. So these capabilities effectively help you secure all of your cloud-based applications. It allows you to streamline your IT process, cut costs, and help ensure that corporate compliance goals are met. Additionally, with just 4 clicks, Azure AD can be integrated with the existing Windows Server Active Directory, giving you the ability to leverage existing on-premise identity investments and manage access to all your cloud-based applications. So if you're on Office 365, Azure, or Dynamics CRM Online, you might not realize it, but you're actually already using Azure AD. So every single Office 365 Azure or Dynamics CRM tenant is actually already on Azure AD. So whenever you want to start using the tenant to manage access to thousands of other applications, you can. Now we'll move on to Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics. So again, this service is an on-premise solution. So again, with all of Microsoft's solutions, it's not cloud or nothing, it is hybrid. So it enables you to connect your on-premise services to the cloud. So again, Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics, or what we refer to as ATA, effectively detects breaches before they can cause damage by identifying abnormal behavior, known malicious attacks, and security issues. Advanced Threat Analytics is an on-premise platform that helps you protect your enterprise from multiple types of advanced targeted cyber attacks and insider threats by using information from multiple data sources. It understands your network and learns the behavior of users and other entities in the organization and starts building a behavioral profile about them. And they can start leveraging ATA's proprietary network parsing engine to capture and parse network traffic of multiple protocols. This is an investment that Microsoft have made into machine learning. And again, this is a service, it's constantly being updated. So for an example as to how this may work, let's say you've got a user that attempts to log on from one geographical location, let's say France, and then the same user within a few minutes tries to log on with the same credentials from, say, Hong Kong. ATA would pick this up and flag it as malicious and alert IT. This is an example of how ATA can increase security in your environment. So moving on to the other service that sits within the stack, which is Microsoft Intune. So Intune has been around for about 4.5 years now, and it was an incubation product to start with and followed just after Office 365. So Intune ensures your devices are compliant and secure whilst protecting data at the app level. So Intune is a cloud-based service in the EM+S suite and helps enable your workforce to be productive whilst keeping your corporate data protected. So, with Intune, it does more than just mobile device management. So, for example, you can manage mobile devices within your workforce that uses the mobile device to access company data. You can manage the mobile applications your workforce uses. You can protect your company information by helping to control the way that your workforce accesses it and shares it. It ensures your devices and apps are compliant with your company's security requirements, and also helps solve a number of other business challenges. So it protects your on-premise email and data so that it can be accessed by mobile devices, protects your Office 365 mail and data so it can be safely accessed by mobile devices, allows you to issue corporate-owned phones to your workforce. It enables you to do BYOD as well. It enables employees to securely access Office 365 from unmanaged devices as well, and helps you issue limited use shared tablets to your workforce. So again, Intune is a component of enterprise mobility and security, and it helps you manage mobile devices and apps. And it does integrate closely with Azure Active Directory for identity and access control. So when you use Office 365, you can enable your workforce to be productive from all your devices with Intune. Finally, now we move on to Microsoft Cloud App Security. So Cloud App Security is a pretty cool feature, and it enables you to gain visibility and provide controls and enhanced threat protection for data stored in cloud apps. So there's a lot of shadow IT going on these days. There's a lot of organizations that have Dropbox that you may not know about it, but a lot of your company information is probably stored in these cloud services. So the question is, how do we find out about these users that are accessing it, and how do we actually gain control? Obviously, with GDPR and a whole other regulations coming about, and organizations have the responsibility to actually control the information, control your customers' information. So if you've got users out that are using applications that you're not aware of, Cloud App Security enables you to interrogate through AD what applications they're using and able to gain back control. So again, Cloud App Security is a critical component of the Microsoft Cloud Security Stack. It's a comprehensive solution that can help your organization as you move to take full advantage of the promise of cloud applications, but it keeps you in control. Through improved visibility into activity, it helps you increase the protection of critical data across all your cloud applications. So with tools that help you uncover shadow IT, assess risk, enforce policies, investigate activities, and stop threats. So ideally, your organization can safely move to adopt cloud services by leveraging Cloud App Security. So Cloud App Security is built on a framework, and it's comprised of three main components: cloud discovery, data protection, and threat protection. So firstly, cloud discovery. Cloud discovery enables you to discover all cloud use in your organization, including shadow IT reporting, and helps you control and manage your risk. Secondly, you've got data protection. So data protection helps you monitor and control your data in the cloud by gaining visibility, enforcing DLP policies, alerting, and investigation. And finally, we have threat protection. So what threat protection allows, it allows you to detect anomalous use and security incidents. It uses machine learning, behavioral analytics, and advanced investigation tools to mitigate risk and set policies and alerts to achieve maximum control over network traffic. So let's talk about the architecture just briefly. So Cloud App Security integrates visibility with your cloud by using cloud discovery to map and identify your cloud environment and the cloud apps your organization is using. It allows you to sanction and unsanctioned apps in your cloud. It uses easy deploy app connectors that take advantage of providers' APIs for visibility and governance of apps that you connect to. So for example, if you've got users out there using Dropbox and you want them to keep using it, you can actually then enforce that they log in through their Azure AD credentials. That enables you to keep them being as productive the way they want to be with any cloud tool, but enables you to lock it down by enforcing those policies through Azure AD. So again, we've given you a bit of a spin around the block in relation to what Microsoft 365 is effectively. And again, they're the main components that make up enterprise mobility and security. Bytes will be running a number of webinars later on throughout the coming months relating to Office 365 and Windows 10. But again, today is really about enterprise mobility and security. Now, these aren't new tools, and there are organizations that have deployed these before. I'm sure we all know about TalkTalk and the security incidents that they went through a couple of years ago. The decision to move to cloud for them was a challenging one, as the concept of moving my information into the cloud could make me more insecure. It could also increase risk. We went through an analysis with the TalkTalk team, and over the past 18 months have been deploying Microsoft 365. This case study is publicly available. All you have to do is type in TalkTalk Microsoft 365 in Google and you'll find it. But again, they're now rolling it out to 10,000 users, and effectively, they've actually said that they are now more secure now that they're using Microsoft's cloud. So that's a real example of an organization that's gone through real security threats and has now been able to move into the cloud securely using Microsoft 365. There is a way and methodology about going about deploying these things. Obviously, if some of these services are new, then the services of organizations like Bytes and New Signature can come to the fore and help you. So with New Signature and Bytes, what we aim to do is go through a pretty methodical process, which is helping you plan, build, and operate. So planning what it is and what that roadmap looks like, what your requirements are. We then help you build those solutions and integrate them into your current environment, and then we actually help you understand how to operate and how to manage that moving forward. At New Signature and Bytes, we've helped over 1 million end users move to Microsoft Cloud over the past 5 years. And anybody on the webinar today, feel free to reach out to your Bytes account team. We're more than happy to help you. So finally, I hope the technical deep dive has been somewhat of enlightening for you. Following on from this, we understand that a 20-minute webinar isn't really going to suffice. So what we'd like you to do is to follow up with your Bytes account manager. And then what we're going to be doing is preparing a technical deep dive workshop with engineers that deploy this technology in the second week of March here at Bytes. So again, thank you very much for your time today. We look forward to dealing with you in the future, and I'll pass you on to Fabienne to understand how to license this product.
Good morning, my name is Fabienne and I'll be going through the licensing for Microsoft 365 and the Enterprise Mobility and Security Suite. So Enterprise Mobility and Security and Microsoft 365 are licensed on a per-user basis and always on a subscription model. Now, what that allows us to do is to have more flexibility. So that means that you can pay for what you use, especially if you have an agreement that's more flexible, like the Microsoft Cloud agreement, where you can reduce your licenses on a monthly basis. In other agreements, such as the enterprise agreements, then you can change the numbers of licenses, reduce that at anniversary. Online services as well will also mean in enterprise agreement that that's no longer company-wide. So if you have an EA, you normally have to count all your qualified devices, qualified users. If you just have online services, that's no longer the case. Now, all of the products we've been talking about today are available in the Enterprise Mobility and Security Suite, which is available to be purchased by itself either as E3 or E5. And the E5 suite will include all of the advanced security for Azure Information Protection and Azure Active Directory, as well as the Cloud App Security, which is just available in the E5 suite. And if you are currently licensed with EM+S E3, but you're looking to use those features that are available in the E5 suites, like the Cloud App Security or the advanced security features, then you can purchase what Microsoft calls a step up. And that allows you to pay for the difference between the E3 and the E5 suite. And as we've seen, you can purchase EM+S as a standalone, but you can also buy EM+S as part of the Microsoft 365 suite that James has been talking about earlier, including including Windows, Office 365, and EM+S. There are two additions to the suite, E3 and E5. The E5 suite will include all of the EM+S features we've seen today, including the higher functionalities, but also additional security features that are available as part of Office 365 E5 and Windows E5. And we'll be reviewing those security features in a technical deep dive workshop that will be running in March with New Signature. The Microsoft 365 suite will also give you additional licensing benefits compared to purchasing the license as a standalone, such as the ability to have downgrade rights for Office if you're renewing from Software Assurance for Office, but also the ability to install an unlimited number of instances of Exchange, Skype for Business, and SharePoint Server if you're running on a hybrid. And then you can see here all the different services available in Microsoft 365 in all the different suites. So you've got here the features in the Microsoft 365 F1 suite, which has been released very recently, which is a cut-down version of Microsoft 365. And then the E3 with all the features we've seen with EM+S, and E5 with all the higher features available. And what you'll see with Microsoft 365 and online services in general is that not only do you get access to the cloud services, you also get access to the on-premises services. That means that if you're still running a hybrid solution where you still have services on premises, you don't have to double license on client access licenses, because all of the Windows Server CAL, System Center, Exchange, SharePoint, and Skype for Business CALs are all already included. Now, we've looked at Step Up for EMS earlier, but if you have Microsoft 365 E3 at the moment and you're looking to use those features such as Cloud App Security and all the advanced security features of EMS, you could purchase a Step Up from Microsoft 365 E3 to just the EMS components. Or if you're looking at advanced features of Office 365, you can do that as well, and for Windows as well. And of course, if you're looking to use all of those E5 features, then you can go from Microsoft 365 E3 to Microsoft 365 E5 and just pay for the difference between the E3 and the E5 suites. Now, if you're only interested in one of the services, so I've got a list here of all of the security products available with Office 365 and EMS, and if you're only interested in one of those services and you're already licensed with Office 365 E3 or EMS E3 or Microsoft 365 E3, then you can also purchase these on a standalone basis. And then finally, if you're currently licensed with on-premises licenses and you're looking to use cloud services, you have discounts available with what Microsoft calls add-ons. Now, an add-on will give you a discount based on the fact that you have similar on-premises products. For example, if you have a Core CAL or an Enterprise CAL suite, you can purchase an EMS E3 or E5 add-on. If you have Core CAL and Office with software assurance, you can have EMS or Office 365 add-on. And if you have Core CAL, Office, and Windows per device, you can have a Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 add-on, which will give you a huge discount compared to the full SKU because you're already paying with on-premises solution. Now that's it for me, and I'll just put you through to back to Cassie, who will answer questions for you.
Thank you, James, and thank you, Fabienne, for that. We're just going to go to a short Q&A if any of you do have any questions. There's a questions box on the right-hand side of your screen, so feel free to just pop anything in there and we can answer for you.
Questions coming through, so we'll take them down just one by one. So the first question from Chris was, we're a charity who has E3 and on-premises AD. Is it easy to use Azure AD with 365 as we have Office 365 and on-premise AD? Yes, it is, and you're able to integrate those two. And again, that's not an issue. A lot of organizations, charity organizations, do what you do. So again, if you'd like to come to the technical deep dive workshop on the 2nd of March, or second week of March, we're more than happy to sort that out, or you can reach out directly to you. Joseph, you asked, can you get a copy of the presentation today? Yes, you can, and we'll make sure that you get that. James, can you mix Office 365 or Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 licenses? Yes, you can. The idea of Microsoft 365 is that you base the license based on user requirements. So it's F1, E3, or E5, or standalone products, as Fabienne was mentioning before. So how do you configure this to use only with one AD for both? So Chris, you probably need to go through a little bit further detail, but I think from what you're saying is you've got you might have your AD on-prem, and then you've got a number of other Office 365 environments. So we can discuss it with you, no problem. But yeah, you can. So where are Microsoft? So Carol, where are Microsoft up to with regards to local government discounts? So again, you'll have to speak to your Microsoft account manager in relation to that. They control the pricing. Bytes and New Signature don't really have too much control over that. Andy, you mentioned, is there charity education pricing for the add-ons? Yes, there is. And again, speak to your Microsoft account manager or your Bytes account manager who'll be able to answer that for you. Thanks, Joseph. And yes, correct, Carl will provide a copy of the presentation. No problem. Is there any more questions that anyone may have? Feel free to ask. We've still got a bit of time left. If there's anything that comes up later on, you've got the ability to then go to tell me more at bytes.co.uk. I'm more than happy to do that. But you will get a copy of this presentation, absolutely. So look, based on that, if there's no other questions, we'd like to thank you very much for your time today. We do look forward to talking with you further about how to deploy it. Okay, you missed the beginning. Can you send me a link to review? Yes, we can, Celianos, no problem. And we do invite you again on the second week of March. We'll send an invitation out. It will be a technical deep dive. You will be able to have licensing questions answered, as well as technical deployment questions answered as well. Microsoft 365 security stack is one of the best parts of Microsoft 365, and we encourage you to look into it a lot better. But I'm glad that everyone's enjoyed the presentation. I'd like to thank everyone for their time this morning, and we look forward to speaking with you again.